This is What's Good Fam, the Midnight Echo, where real thoughts hit different after dark. Late night conversations, real talk, and we got everything from the midnight rotation to the night owl news. It's your host, the infamous night owl himself, DJ Dex Double X, and if you're up right now, you already know what time it is. Let's echo in. What's good to my early birds and what's good to my night owls is the infamous night owl himself, DJ Dex Double X, and this is What's Good Fam, the Midnight Echo. I want to welcome you to season 2, episode 6, and this one's going to be a special one because we're going live on Clubhouse. Yes indeed, I'll get into the details more and more towards the end, but like I normally do, I always gotta show some love. So I just want to real quick shout out to everybody supporting Midnight Echo, everybody liking the clips, sharing the posts, commenting, following the journey. I appreciate y'all. Season 2 has been growing one episode at a time. I just want to say, from the very depths of my heart, wholeheartedly, I appreciate everyone that's supporting your mans, sharing the content as well. It's not as much as I used to get, but hey, that's all right. I get it. Life is hard right now. So shout out to the new followers. Thank y'all for tapping in and echoing in. I get some great responses on TikTok, even though some people be saying some of the most outlandish things. But I appreciate those that engage with the post, those that are sharing. Hey, y'all don't know how much this means to me. This is growing one step at a time. So thanks for locking in with the movement, all right? So, I want to go ahead and get into what's called the Night Owl News, all right? So, listen, man, there's been a lot going on this week. So as y'all know, of course, we all heard about the story of the convenience store owner Rick Chow after he gunned down 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton. We all know Rick Chow, Asian, that young man that lost his life. Man, may he rest in peace and condolences to his family. Cyrus Carmack Belton, black kid. Now, allegedly, back in May of 2023, him and his son chased his Andy from their Shell gas station out there in South Carolina, and they was accusing him of stealing water bottles. Like, come on now. They chased this little kid for over 100 yards, and Rick Chow had a 45 Glock on him and shot him over some bottles of water. Now, he was found not guilty, and of course that sent shockwaves, and I can't even believe they over some water bottle. I don't think murder should have been necessary for some water bottles or to even chase somebody for that matter. So, that sent shockwaves throughout the whole community, and this is one thing I was talking about on our culture. Like, you see what's happening right now. Everybody's taking sides right now. They're coming for us, and it even takes me back to what was that, back in 2022, 2023, when they had the whole Stop Asian Hate, hashtag going around. And, they tried to say we were so, violent towards them. There was never any evidence of us ever being violent. Now, there were some videos that came out, but not on the scale of us just randomly picking on them, And, you see this right here. And they even said, this guy, Rick Chow, he has a record. Like, he had opened fire on others before. Like, he was accusing them of shoplifting. He just pulled out his gun and started shooting at him. Like, that right there is enough evidence to let you know something is not right about this guy. And now that he has gotten acquitted for all of this, now I see his store becoming ransacked. And I guess, the Asian community wasn't too happy about that. So we have a guy, and he got online to speak his words, because now there's a boycott going around, for black people to start boycotting these Asian stores that are inside of the black community, since they really don't contribute to the community. So This one guy had something to say. I'm gonna play this little clip real quick. So.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais.
I'm just gonna play that, but man, listen. It is what it is, because guess what? We've done it before without the help of Asians, all right? Let's not forget about all the many black establishments that we built without the help of any other race but ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So you can say what you want to say, brother. You know what I'm saying? All I'm going to say is this, man. Once we all get onto a right accord and we start to actually come together and realize that we're not each other's enemy, watch how far we'll take off. We've done it before, and we can do it again, you know? I just want to say once again, a quick rest in peace to Cyrus Carmack Belton, and condolences to his family. You know, I'm sorry justice wasn't served, but you know, just know his time is coming. All right, judgment comes for us all. So I ain't wishing death on anyone, but that's just all I gotta say. All right, so but we're gonna go ahead and move forward, and we're gonna get into what we call the midnight rotation. It doesn't matter if you're up cruising late night or if you're getting your day started. Music for the soul, music to get your grind on. So it hasn't been much that hasn't dropped lately, so I decided to take a little trip back down memory lane. So I ain't gonna lie, I came across this one song and it took me back to this album. Go ahead and play it for y'all real quick. Y'all know it is for my fans of the man's Freddie Gibbs. Right next to me, but I'm still gone. Still at the crack house with the steel doors. Had to go back to 2024 and listen to You Only Die Once, man. I love this album. I forgot so much about this album. You know, once I started listening to a lot of the other artists out here, of course, with the lifestyle movement taking off and so many new artists I was coming across, you know, I kind of slept on Eddie Gibbs, man, but you got to give to this man. His bars are always immaculate. Now, his beefs that he have with other rappers, hey, I ain't gonna get into that, but I could just say this, man. This man, Freddie Gibbs, is a one-man army, so of course he don't need that much help from anybody else, and he can do it by himself. So, you know, shout out to him, man, Freddie Gibbs, man. You know, shout out to the fans. So you know what I'm saying? Echo in. Let me know which one is your favorite track off of this You Only Die Once. So which is your favorite Freddie Gibbs album? All right. So of course I also had to, you know, dive back to my man's Larry June. That early bird track, man. You know, I came across 24K Organic. Oh man. Song BB getting me hype, you know what I'm saying? I love this album from start to finish. Just I love it, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, my favorite other track on here is Slow Motion. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to that boy Larry June, man. Hey, good job, Larry. You're doing great. So I even took it a step further, right? And I went all the way to 2000. Shout out to my horrorcore fans, my favorite group. 3-6 Mafia, when the smoke clears, 66-61. One of my favorite tracks on here, Mafia Niggas, Shout out to DJ Paul. Shout out to Juicy J. Rest in peace to Lola, Miss Lola, aka Gangsta Boo. Rest in peace to Ricky Dunnigan, aka Lord Infamous. Shout out to his son and nephews. You know, shout out to the whole Hypnotized Camp Posse, man. Y'all always had me crunk, man. I ain't gonna lie. Man, all them albums had me want to just fight nobody for no damn reason. Yeah. So, you know, hey, man, make sure y'all echo in. Let me know what was y'all midnight rotation, man. How y'all felt about these albums, man. Let me know what was y'all favorite tracks, all right? So, like I said, this is going to be a special episode, all right? Because we're going live on Clubhouse, right? So we're about to go live with a special guest. I'll let y'all know who she is in a minute. So we're about to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And tonight we have a special guest. We have, hailing from Naked to the Core podcast, and you can find her on YouTube. We have Miss Newnew, everybody. Welcome to the episode.
Thank you very much.
Hey. Now, for those y'all don't know, I've actually been on one of her podcasts before. And where can you
like
find her?
4 years ago.
Hey, listen now. Listen here now, okay? Let me tell you something. Even though it was that long, it was really 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was during the Johnny Depp thing, the Johnny Depp trial. That was like in 2022.
Yo, oh man, listen, time is flying.
Tell me about it.
Jesus, that was really 4 years ago. Okay.
Yep.
Man, I feel, the old age starting to kick in now, but I don't like that shit. It's really starting to kick in.
We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
Hey, we millennials. Come on now, you know what it is. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Ooh, yo, so yes, for the listeners, yes, I was on one of her episodes 4 years ago. Oh my God. And we was also joined by Miss Brooklyn. Shout out to Miss Brooklyn, by the way. You know what I'm saying? She was on the Rude Content podcast, and she actually did her thing on this episode too. Yes, most definitely. So, just before we're going further, Naked to the Core has been dropping new episodes, right?
Yes, we started back up in April.
Okay. So just to ask, what made y'all want to start back up?
We missed it. We missed the people. We missed, having those conversations with each other. And I just suggested one day, hey, let's go back and, do what we was doing 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And they was like, yeah, hell yeah. Let's do it.
It's fun though, ain't it? It's really fun.
Yeah, it is. And we got, we get a lot of stuff off our chest and talk about different things that, controversial things that people don't generally like to talk about, but yeah, we talk about that stuff. So
yeah, that last episode about the plug-in. I was like, wow, they really finna have a conversation about this.
Yeah, because I think it's a conversation that we should have because the times are different and those people, the caucuses, they do say the N-word to each other. So just wanted to know, is it okay for them to be saying that, or do they get a pass for saying that, or how we doing that?
Yeah,
and it was a conversation starter for sure.
Right, and it was funny. I have seen other people kind of talk about that, and me being in a situation like that before, I can honestly say it was something they need to bring light to, because I even remember there was I can't remember the rapper's name. I don't want to say the wrong name, but I remember he was doing a music video, and there was a white rapper in there with him. He went ahead and said, hey, go ahead and say it. And he just dropped it like he had just been waiting to say it for the longest. I swear. If I can find that video, I'm going to send it to you. Let you post it.
Definitely send that to me, because I would love to take a look at that.
It stirs some
I thought you was talking about B-Rad from Malibu, but you talking about a real white rapper.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. A real, I was shocked myself. I was like, go ahead and say that. I was like, what you mean go ahead? And he just came out. What?
He been waiting to say that too. He just been waiting to have the permission to do it.
You could tell the delight on his face when he got to say that word. But
and he probably think he invited to the barbecue.
Of course, he was. He was surrounded by a whole bunch of niggas. I'm sorry, but he was, man.
Okay.
But thinking about it, there was another rapper. He's in jail right now. He's in Florida. He actually, I've listened to him say it on several of his rap songs too, and to other kids right now. His people.
Crazy.
He just let it fly. Crazy. He's Italian and all, but it's like, hey man, that's still I don't know.
He's still not black.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. Make sure y'all go check out these episodes. They can find y'all on YouTube, right?
Yep, and it's not spelled the regular way. Naked is NAKID. And then the number 2, DACORE. So it's Naked to the Core on all platforms. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and YouTube.
All right, word. Y'all heard that. So once again, get up to the Naked to the Core and the crew.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course, I'll make sure to tag y'all so that way they can be able to find y'all. Hey man, let's like I
Thank
said,
you.
y'all echo in. Make sure y'all let her know how y'all feel about these episodes, because it's quite a couple, y'all. Right, quite.
Yeah,
A couple.
and definitely check us out on Tuesday, because we talking about some stuff on Tuesday. We talking about poly and monogamy. So yeah, get with us.
Oh, I wish I could get in on that episode, but I know I'm gonna be at work. God.
Always working. Always working.
Like I told my viewers, man, I'm a blue collar worker. I ain't got no choice. It's either
It's all
survive
good.
or fall.
It's all good.
Hey man, hey, shout out to my brothers who ain't got no kids just like me, you know what I'm saying? Woo! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nothing but freedom and no more. I get to spend my money on myself.
Okay, that's what's up.
Shoot. Just went on a little shopping spree for myself for the first time in
Okay.
like 5 years.
Okay.
If you listeners like, yo, what the hell are y'all talking about? Hey.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Hey, we gotta keep it funny, man, because what we're probably gonna be talking about might ruffle some feathers, might
You're right.
upset some people. And for those that are listening in the chat or waiting to respond to what we're talking about, hey, just get ready. Just know it's just a general conversation, all right? It ain't nothing to get you upset, nothing to get you mad. It's just our opinions and thoughts on it, okay? So
Right.
let's be cool-headed about it. I ain't trying to start no gender war in the chat. Shit. And next thing you know, I hate black women or something. Like,
Oh man, it ain't even that deep.
yeah, let
It's
you tell
not
it.
that deep.
Let you tell it. You know what I'm saying? Jesus. I'm just,
Yeah.
like I talked about before, I was the type of person, and I said this before in the previous episodes, I didn't never want to jump to the topic of relationships, because I feel like we're all getting to the age now. We know enough to know what we're supposed to do in relationships,
Mm-hmm.
And, every time you think about it, most people like, yo, oh, let me ask you this. You remember back in the 90s, you used to watch them black sitcoms, and, every time there was a relationship problem, who was the first person they would go to?
Who was the first person that was?
Like, if, the child was having, a relationship problem, like it's their first relationship or something, who would they generally talk to?
Parent?
Parents, grandparents, you know what I'm saying? People who are either married or, community elders, stuff like that.
Right.
Now it's like we're all learning our relationships from social media.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely making those celebrity relationships relationship goals. Mm.
right. And I get it. Everybody, okay, I didn't want to get this deep to it, but everybody has a fantasy about how they want their relationship to go,
Mm-hmm.
And not too long ago, I dated somebody who was in that same type of mind frame. They wanted this perfect relationship, being able.
Ain't no such thing.
There you go. Ain't no such thing. You're not always gonna be able to go on trips. Not always gonna be able to go dates. Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can see where these type of relationships, as well as these type of thought processes, have kind of destroyed relationships nowadays. And I'm not blaming either or gender. I'm saying it's both of us in this scenario. Because there are some people who can deliver, and there are some people who can't. Some people worthy of
Right.
it, some people who ain't worthy of it. And
Right.
It's not about blaming women or anything. It's definitely not about blaming men either. It's just we have to understand where these ideas of these perfect relations come from,
Mm-hmm.
And then it takes me back to, I don't know if you remember, but when we was on lockdown. You remember when we was on lockdown back in 2020, COVID?
Yeah, I remember.
So you remember, right? It was like everybody finally came together, like on some community type of stuff, right? Because everybody was like, death is overlooming, so let's at least come together so we can, try to fix what's going on in the community, right?
Right.
So of course, the topic of relationships did come up, it wasn't about, who does what, 50-50, who should have this and who should have that, right? It was more about learning your partner, right? So you remember they always talked about the healthy stuff. What was that? Learning your love language,
Yes.
the acts of service, and being this and being that, being able to talk to your significant other without getting emotional or getting upset, but actually hearing them out and understanding what point they're coming from,
Right. Listening to understand them.
There you go. So it's like we learned about all that, and then out of nowhere, it's like a full 360 happened out of nowhere. And now it's like, I hate you, you hate me, so what? It blew my brain because I'm like, yo, how did this happen? Like, we were just all in love, and it was just like, you know what? It probably was a lot of couples who was on lockdown, having to be in each other's face all day, every day, realize like, yo, this ain't gonna work.
Right.
And it's not funny because I get it. You thought this was the love of your life, but it was just how that 360 just spun so fast out of nowhere. And, it's like, okay, once all this hit social media, everybody had something to say. Everybody wanted to talk about what they dealt with, what they've been through. Even though we all had to be real, we put ourselves in those situations. So we can be as mad at the other person as much as we want to, but when it's all said and done, we put ourselves in that situation,
Right.
But it seems like it doesn't seem to get to that point where we are telling ourselves like, yo, we did that shit to ourselves. It always goes back to, it's your fault. You triggered me.
Right.
Shit.
Finger pointing.
There you go. So it's like when you look at social media today and you think about people watching these celebrities and these, I guess you could say, quote unquote, healthy relationships, even though we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. It's like, are we entertained by the idea, or are we really hoping this would be like more of a goal as, we try to look for our significant other? Because, I feel like when it comes down to it, we all have an idea of what we want out of somebody, or what we want that person to look like,
Right.
But when it boils down to it, are we just looking at a fantasy, or are we really looking at reality? What you think?
I think it depends on the person.
Right.
Because some people are just downright delusional and feel like, okay, that right there is my relationship goals. I want to be like them. What was Sierra's prayer? Blah, blah, blah. Like, but to be logical about it, you have to do the work.
For sure.
You and that person that you are in a relationship with, y'all have to do the work.
That's true.
So, you can't just jump into something with someone and be like, okay, I want our relationship to be like this. It's not, you can want it to be that way all you want to, but if you're not putting in the work to do it, and if you don't share a personality, the same type of personality as that person that you're looking up to, it's not going to be like that.
Right. Because you're not gonna live up to that person's standards, in a sense.
Right. And then you can't put those types of expectations on your partner either, because your partner may not even come close to who their partner is. Like, a lot of people want their partner. A lot of women, let's say, a lot of women
Okay, be careful what you're gonna say.
I'm just using this as an example now.
Okay.
I'm not a female misogynist. Okay, let's put that out there. They want to have a man with the Russell Wilson type of personality mixed with a little bit of Future personality. Like, they want that. How? You can't get both.
Right.
You can't get both. You either want one or the other. But everybody is not. They don't have that type of personality. They don't have that. They weren't raised to act that way.
Right.
So you got to stop putting those high expectations on your partner.
And you know what? I'm glad you kind of said that, right? Because I was even like, with the boom of this whole thing of social media, and a lot of people saying how, I guess, easy it is to get rich, but also how easy it is to connect with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mentioned this on the last podcast episode I did. How when the whole start of this ratchet / baddie culture started happening, I feel like in a sense it kind of ruined women a little bit, and that's just my opinion. Okay. I'm not trying to be misogynistic.
You're entitled to it.
Right. I'm not being misogynistic. And thankfully, I've seen other podcasts, all women podcasts, who have said the same thing as well. Who feel like this whole ratchet / baddie culture needs to die. Like, it needs to go, because the expectations that they're having and wanting out of, certain men, and the lifestyles that they're committing themselves to in order to get that is kind of, in a sense, damaging in a way.
Right.
And then when you see them trying to act like their favorite celebrities, or, okay, for instance, we know we got some celebrities that a lot of women do look up to. You got the Sexy Reds, the Megan Thee Stallions, the Glorillas. You got WNBA players, Angel Reese, of that caliber. But, it seems like it's a little bit more of the ratchets that they pay a little bit more attention to. No disrespect. But, when you see them getting into these relationships and they're happy for them, right? Latest thing that just happened with the whole Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. Nobody knows the truth. Nobody knows what's happened. It's hearsay. I guess Meg's letting it be known he was cheating. I don't know the whole story because I ain't finna get into it.
Right.
But, just seeing how emotionally invested a lot of women were into this relationship, like they was dating this man.
Right.
And, to say, for them to say some of the outlandish things that they were saying, saying, hey, she put you on. I was like, well, what did she put him on to? Fish and spaghetti?
Yeah. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm like, Klay been in the league.
That man
years.
had a name before Megan even got in this industry. So
exactly. Back when she was still twerking, this man was making millions. So
right.
Ain't no disrespect, but that's just the truth. Like, nobody really knew who she was until later on down the life when she popped. So once again, going back to see how many women were so emotionally invested in this relationship, but not just hers, but a lot of these celebrity women's relationships. I remember one in particular, the whole Jay-Z and Beyonce feud that happened some years ago. I guess what was that album she dropped? This was like in early 2000s.
Was it
Lemonade? Was
Lemonade? Yeah.
What was it? Becky with the good hair or something?
Yeah.
And seeing so many women trying to come for Jay-Z, in the back of my head, I'm like, so what's their relationship got to do with you?
Right.
They kind of flipped it. All men cheat. All y'all are dogs. All y'all want to do is this and that. It's like, well, first of all, you're talking about one man, okay? And that's their relationship. That's their marriage.
Right.
What's that got to do with me?
Right.
And that's where it went back to when this whole Meg and Klay thing started popping off, and seeing how so many women was kind of going in on men, talking about that's all y'all do. Y'all get a good thing, and then y'all just throw it away by the wayside because y'all want to chase after some more coochie. And it's like, well, wait a minute. We still don't know the full details of this whole relationship between the both of them. And on top of that, Klay is Klay Thompson, all right? I'm just a normal dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, why y'all... Well, let me ask you that. Why do you think so many women are so emotionally invested in these relationships, and then they just crash out whenever, I guess, something happens,
I think they insert their personal feelings into the chat. Let's just say that. I think that it's a trigger because of what some of them have gone through. They expect better from someone, and then they first of all, they love Megan, and
Of course.
I don't know, they get so attached to someone that they don't even know. Let's just put that out there too.
For sure.
You don't know this girl. You don't know her from a can of paint, but you're getting emotionally involved in her situation because you see your situations that you've been in. Now, Clay is a dog. He's equal to who you've messed around with.
Right.
I really don't know why. I can't say why they get so emotionally involved with these celebrities because they don't know them, and then I don't do stuff like that, so I can't even tell you why they do it. But from what I think, I think that they insert themselves into that situation, and they begin getting triggered by what Megan says happened.
For sure.
That's really the only thing that I can think of, other than them just being crazy. Because why? I don't understand why you're getting so emotionally involved in someone else's business that you don't know personally. You don't even know her personally.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that does make sense. I had maybe a little bit of a theory, but at the same time, it's like I don't. Okay, let me put it like this, right? Like you are right about what you're saying, right? And I feel like it goes back to what we were saying before about them and this fantasy that this fantasy that they have about, I guess, having the perfect man like that,
Yep.
About, like you said, the Russell Wilsons, but look like Future,
Right.
And I've always said that, but of course I've always got some feedback from that, whatever. But I think it also goes back to them kind of, like you saying, inserting themselves in that relationship, and they're acting as if they're living through Meg, like,
right.
First of all, it's no disrespect towards Meg Stallion. I am, matter of fact, shout out to her, you know what I'm saying? She's built herself up, went to school, did what she had to do.
Big shout out.
Multi-millionaire, business owner, actor, all that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. But one thing a lot of people have always said about Meg, she does cry wolf a lot. You know what I'm saying? So the question was always asked, like, for you to be so, educated and sophisticated and, about your business, how you keep picking these same type of dudes? Like, what's the issue with you? And I think that's where a lot of women correlate, because they feel like they're in the same boat as Meg. They're smart, educated, went to school, got their degrees, got their own this, their own that. Some are entrepreneurs, running businesses, etc. Shout out to all y'all. But when they see a woman like that get with somebody like Klay Thompson, it gives them hope.
Right.
But when the relationship crumbles, and this is law right here, because I can even say this has happened to me, right? When the relationship crumbles, they never ask, what happened. They always say, what Klay do?
Right, it's
all
always
attention,
the man's fault.
Right, it goes right to him, because that, once again, same thing happened to me. I let somebody know I wasn't dating somebody. The dudes was like, hey, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Now, talk about it. The women was like, what'd you do? How is it my fault? Wait. It's always
always the man's fault. It's always the man's fault.
Always, and I was like, that's wow. So I was like, I didn't know if that was an emotional response, just because of what a lot of women have been through, of course. But, is it also like preconditioning your brain, like, men are always going to be set up to just ruin the relationship?
And that's not always true, because I mean, it's some good men that have been absolutely torn up and thrown every which way but loose by some women.
Right.
So it's not always the man.
Right. Yeah, you're most definitely right. It's not always man. You know what I'm saying? We do make our mistakes, you know, but not always men. You know, and that's where I was just, you know, asking the question like, hey, so we still don't know the full story, but you see women crashing out, and this is not an episode to bash women or anything. Just speaking on what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but seeing a lot of them crashing out, and I don't know if it was a joke. I said this before on the previous episode. Somebody had posted, you know, in honor of Meg, all of us are going to cheat on our boyfriends or husbands for the night. And, you know, I guess they're seeking revenge for her, but it's like, once again, the situation ain't got nothing to do with you. So why?
Nothing.
But after that woman posted that, I've seen multiple other posts come out with women using that as a, you know, a caption over their stories or reels. I was like, is it that serious? It can't be that serious. Like,
it can't be. I mean, that's just wild. Like, you're not even. Let the men have done that though.
Right.
Like, it would be a world war. Like, you already do that anyway.
And you sitting there looking like, how? I work 12 hours every day. I come home to you.
Yeah, right. When do I have time to do that? It takes you 9 minutes to get home.
Last night it took you 11. Man, it stopped
Right. And last night it took you 11. I stopped at the store.
Jesus.
I went in the store and got me a little Everest drink or whatever that shit's called. I went and got me a little orange juice. Damn.
Looking at your watch, you think it's gonna take me 2 minutes? No, you know what I'm saying? And there are some women who do act like that. Well,
Yeah.
So who's not to say?
Yeah.
Who's not to say Meg acted like that towards Clay? Like, hey, Clay.
Man, like, you gonna do me like this? I done cooked this spaghetti and fish for you, and you gonna treat me like that?
For sure. So, you know, it's like, before y'all, you know, before a lot of the women just start jumping into the comments and jumping on Meg's side, it's like, first of all, we need to hear what actually happened, because it's not always going to be the man's fault. Because, you know, don't get me wrong, hey, cheating is wrong. If you don't see yourself with this person, just let it be known and go on about your business.
Right.
But there's also the question of, how was Meg acting during the whole relationship, you know? Because, come on, man. we hear her saying more about what may have happened as opposed to Clay to be like, hey man, I ain't worried about that shit right now. It is what it is. You know?
Yeah. And we haven't really heard anything from Clay.
Not at all. You know, and it makes me wonder sometimes too, like, does Meg kind of enjoy this shit? Because I don't know if she realizes how much influence not only her, but a lot of these other women, celebrities too, who crash out after a breakup, you know, and usually it's either the man's fault or whatever. But, you know, who crash out, and then you just have a whole group of women who just love them, just come behind them like, yeah, we're gonna crash out with you. We're gonna, you know, like, I don't think a lot of these women artists know how much influence they have over some of these women, even though it's...
Oh, they know.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah. Especially somebody like, when you're talking about somebody like Megan knows she has the hotties behind her. She knows it because of the whole Tory situation. She knows there's people that's riding for her.
True.
She knows that they're going to be down for her and have her back. No matter what she says, no matter what Clay says, Clay can come out and say, you know, it wasn't just me. Oh, you a liar. You are lying. It was all you. They wasn't even there. They wasn't there. They wasn't in the vicinity. They weren't in the home. They were not there. But they know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, Clay, you are lying. You did everything that girl said you did.
Right.
And I mean, he may have done everything she said he did. I mean, you know, he may have. But it's always two that are included in the failure of anything.
Sure.
The success or failure of anything takes two. It takes two.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about relationships. I'm not talking about like your life or whatever. You know, you got to take accountability. If you have failures, it's on you. True. But I'm talking about when it comes to relationships, marriage. You know, it takes two.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's true. But it will always be Clay. It's always Clay. It's Clay's fault. It's Clay's fault.
Right. So. And no, you might be right. It might be Clay's fault for all we know. It might most definitely be Clay's fault. He might have dropped the ball on this one. You know what I'm saying? But
because
go ahead.
And not to cut you off, but if we know Klay Thompson, and we know how Klay Thompson rolls. Now, not everybody knows about Klay and what Klay has done in the past to his past girlfriends.
Yes.
They don't know that he's a habitual cheater. They don't know. So I'm not taking away from Megan and what she's saying he did. I absolutely believe to some extent that he had something to do with the failure of their relationship. That may have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
But there are things that Megan probably contributed to in the failure of their relationship. It's not all on Klay.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's not. And that's why I said we don't know the full story. We can only speculate off of what somebody might say, you know?
Right.
So I just was like, just in awe at the level of, the level of how fast everybody responded and reacted to the news, because immediately, what did he do? Ooh. And it was like, we don't even know the story yet, man. Y'all need to just relax and be cool. And on top of that, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all. So,
no,
settle down. And so you really honestly think that, ain't that kind of toxic though? Don't you think that's kind of toxic in a slick sense? Like, they know, in a slick sense, this is kind of like a cult type of thing, because we've seen it with the Beyonce and her, what they call it again? The
Beehive.
There you go. And the same with used to be, but not anymore. Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. The Barb.
Yeah. They were called the what now?
The Barb.
The Barbs. Oh.
Yep.
Wow.
The Barb. Barbie. Barb.
You serious, man? The Barbs. All right. Okay. Cool. So now we got Meg with the
Hotties.
The Hotties. Yeah. So they're really called the Hotties. Oh shit.
Yeah, they're called the Hotties.
Okay. So
and Cardi with the Barty gang.
Are you serious? That's what they're called, the Barty gang?
Yeah.
Wow. You, man, listen. Can't no woman ever talk about no man and no gang, and they run around here with the Barty gang and all the bars and the B. Stand behavior, man. Okay. So
that's crazy.
So in a slick sense, this. So in your honest opinion, that's not in the least bit toxic.
I think it's very toxic, no matter what. Like even if we were talking about men,
of
like
course.
the whole thing with the Trump people. I mean, I don't want to get into that, but like the cult, having something feel like a cult, period, is toxic.
Yeah, the MAGA. Listen, man, I already.
Yeah, I mean, it's really toxic because it becomes, it's like you don't have your own
identity,
frame of mind. Like you don't you actually following up on this person with what they got going on, and it's their way or no way. It's that person's way that y'all are following or no way. And that's very toxic.
Yeah, this I blame social
Like, you
media.
taking away from their account. The biggest thing that you can do as a human being is take accountability or hold somebody else accountable for what they do. And being a part of that cult, it takes away from that. It's like you're taking away from holding that person responsible for their part in the situations that they put themselves in.
Word.
So yes, absolutely. I feel like that's toxic. To go behind her and say, let's go cheat on all of our men. What your man do to you? What your man do to you?
Right. It's like,
You gonna jeopardize your relationship because Clay did that to her.
exactly.
Come on.
It's
If you don't see the toxicity in that, something is wrong.
That is beyond. Like, come on, man. You're right. Going back to what you said before, if something like that had happened and it was Clay that got cheated on, and some dude was like, "Hey, man, we're gonna cheat on our wives tonight," boom, that would start World War III. Like,
we ride at dawn.
Right. Everybody, either we're gonna wake up and there's a knife to our, you know what? So we don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
But a lot of us are not going to do that. A lot of us are gonna be smart. Like, I'm staying inside. I ain't going nowhere. Y'all can have fun with that. I ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
You know, and I just feel like what's going on with the elder women? Like, first of all, okay, before I go and get into details with the elder women, what's going on with this whole Meg not just telling her followers, like, yo, y'all be cool, okay? This happened between me and him. This is me and him situation. No need for y'all to be crashing out over something that happened. Just, you know, continue on with your normal lives, you know? Like, instead of her just saying something like that, when that kind of like ease this little tension that's going on right now, because it always seems like it takes one specific event to ignite this whole gender war all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And I called it out before, like, you know, there was a lot of posts I was seeing that was being dragged back from like the early 2020s, 2021, 2022. And I knew that because I had them saved as a topic I was going to talk about on the Rude Content podcast. So I was like, oh, look at this shit. They just trying to really keep this shit going. And then boom, we got this going. You know? So wouldn't it be in her best interest to be like, hey man, y'all be cool, man. It ain't even that serious.
I mean, yeah, but
be a leader.
Right. But when you are, and that goes back to what you said before, when you ask the question, does she really like this type of thing? Because it's always a I'm the victim type of situation.
Right.
Are you in love with the fact of being victimized? Or I think people who love to be victimized won't do that. They won't say, hey, you know, just be cool. Mm-hmm. Like, this is me and his thing. She wouldn't do that because she put out there that he cheated on her, which is why they ended the relationship in the first place.
Right.
So with her doing that, that was already, I need my baddies behind me. It was already given. I need my people behind me.
Her hotties.
Yeah, her hotties. She need her hotties behind her. So, no, I feel like it would be adult-like to have stepped in and said, hey, you know, y'all be cool. But why would you put it out there in the first place? Why would you put it out there that y'all's relationship ended because he cheated in the first place if he was just gonna follow it up with, hey, this is between me and him. Just be cool. No, she wanted that. She wanted that backing.
Toxic.
Because she could have did what Clay did and just shut up. Like we didn't have to know.
Say that again.
We didn't have to know.
Say that again. She could have just did like Clay and shut up.
I mean, seriously, if you didn't want that, if you didn't want what you got, the reaction that you got from your hotties, then you wouldn't have said anything in the first place.
That's true. That's true. That's so cult-like right there. That is.
It is.
That's a hive mind type of thing. So listen, like I said, no disrespect, man, but just looking at it, you know, from the other side, it's kind of like, hey man, this is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because I feel like anybody with that type of power, it's weird. Anybody with anybody with that type of power, that snap of their fingers and just like, because it's happened before. It's happened before, okay? When you had the mass group of women divorcing their husbands or, you know, leaving their whole entire relationships to be outside. And once they got outside, they saw it wasn't what it was supposed to be. You know, it's diabolical out here. That's
it is.
It's beyond diabolical out here.
It is.
So, you know, now you got a whole generation of women right now upsetting in their feelings because of the bad decisions that they made because they listened to these online personalities. You know, and it's just scary. Like, at the snap of a finger, if she decided to say, everybody leave that man right now, we finna be outside all summer. Do you think they'd really do that? Because like I said, it's happened before. You know?
Maybe.
So, you know, I would just only hope it wouldn't have to go that far, because it's like, yo, first of all, we don't need to be looking at these relationships of these celebrities to be teaching us about relationships at all, because one thing we also need to understand, relationships are up and down. They're not always gonna be good, and not always gonna be bad. As long as you got two people willing to make it work, you know, that's what makes it perfect. But it's just the expectations now, because, you know, you got a lot of people who will come out and say, oh, my granddaddy, you know, he had 18 kids and had a wife and mistress, and he held down both households, and this and that. Like, yeah, I guess the hell so. $1 could feed a whole goddamn nation back then. What you mean?
Back then. Okay.
Right. So, you know, don't compare it to now, where it's shit. You can be making $100,000, and that still ain't enough in today's economy.
Right.
And
tell me about it.
You know, it's always the whole back and forth. You know, people saying, or men are saying, you know, women want a finished product. Women saying men don't value them enough, and they always look at them as this, and that, and the third. Like, you know, always the same conversation. And then I just ask myself, like, instead of asking these people and these quote unquote relationship coaches, because a lot of them ain't doing too good right now, as we already know about Dr. Joyce Bryant. And the shenanigans that, you know, she's been, you know, cooking up as well. And that leads me to another question, man. I didn't want to talk about this, but you see a lot of these podcasts, Ms. Newnew, and a lot of the most diabolical yet hypocrisy things that they say.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, who would want to listen to these type of messages? Like, I feel like that's even slick toxic itself, because even with her and how she, you know, will go on people's podcasts, try to tell men, hey, y'all need to be this, y'all need to be that, y'all need to be understanding. You know, it was all good. It was all good. You know what I'm saying? She was, you know, getting at the men. She was sticking to the men. Yes. Message. What's that thing they be doing with their fingers?
I know what you mean. The middle finger to the thumb.
What was that? Clock it or T or whatever that?
Yeah.
Whatever that is, they be doing that. And, you know, she said, you know, let's protect this black woman. But then as soon as she flips the narrative and say, now I'm gonna keep it real, I've met a lot more good men than I've met good women. Now all of a sudden she is a hater. She's a misogynist. She's XYZ. Always. And one thing I've noticed, whenever certain women do go against the womenhood, the sisterhood. They will find anything and everything they can to like discredit you, you know.
Yeah.
And my question
Trust
is,
me, I know. I've been there.
Whoa, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been called a female misogynist. You know, that they love to say women who agree with men are male-centered. Like, what? No, I'm just stepping out of my emotions, because where emotions run high, intelligence runs low.
Right.
So when I step away from my emotion and insert myself into the situation to see, you know, the logic in it, and I come out on, sometimes I come out on the woman's side, sometimes I come out on the man's side.
Oh, yeah,
but when I come out on the man's side, I'm a female misogynist. Like, what? What the hell are y'all talking about? You just want to put labels on people.
Right.
No, it's not about being a female misogynist. A lot of the time, you have to call a spade, whether you're on the woman's side or on the man's side. If you're wrong, you're wrong.
For sure.
And because a lot of women, a lot of the time, run off of emotions, they don't make the logical decisions. They don't make the intelligent decisions, because intelligence is not existent in that moment. So now sometimes you have to step into the logical side, get out of them emotions, and see what it is that is, you know, what's logical in that situation. And because I'm able to do that, now I'm not a part of the sisterhood. I'm a female misogynist, and I'm male-centered, and what the hell are y'all talking about?
Right. Listen.
Am I female-centered if I agree with a woman? Like, I don't understand. I want to point out what's right when it's right and what's wrong when it's wrong. And it doesn't matter whose side is on.
Right. No,
so,
yeah, no, you most definitely right. And once again, this is not a podcast to bash women, because I call out my fellas all the time. I say I need to, you know, I let it be known. We need to always let it be known when we're wrong. We know we're doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing stupid
That's
shit.
part of accountability.
Part of accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times we're like, yo, we got to be careful what we're doing out here, because it does affect generations, and it can affect generations.
Right.
You know, and
it has. It shows.
It does, because look at, you know, how things are now. You know, due to
right.
how a lot of brothers were mistreating women out here. You know what I'm saying? I know I always say women need to hold themselves accountable, but bros definitely need to too. And you know, hey, I can admit I have done some wrong to some, and I've reached out, I've apologized. You know, I was met with some good, you know, some people like, yeah, that's, you know, I understand, blah, this kid, you know, we can be friends, you know. Others like, yo, I appreciate it, but, you know, at the end of the day, fuck you. I had no choice to take that. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
Right.
If I was in your situation, I would do the exact same thing too, depending on how severe it was.
Right.
So, you know, for my bros, you know, we ain't gonna get on here and just listen to this talk about women all day, because yo, we be fucking up too, and we be doing shit, and we be learning the wrong type of relationship advice from a lot of people. And one thing I can honestly say, you know, due to Kevin Samuels and the revolution he was leading, you know, like I always tell people, one thing a lot of people never paid attention to was the episodes he did where he was going in on men. When I mean going in, saying some of the most egregious yet understandable things, because he wanted us to get it through our heads, like, yeah, nigga, ain't nobody coming to save you, ain't nobody coming to save us. You know,
right?
You in on life by yourself. Like, as a man, if you ain't got nobody, you need to be doing your very best. You need to be learning how to wipe your ass properly, wash your ass properly. You know, make sure you keep up with your appearances. If you fat, get your ass in the gym. Stop eating all that fast food. Like, you know, be a man, goddamn, because shit's wild out here. You know. And that's why I love listening to him. I never took none of his consultation classes because I wasn't forgetting like that, but I understood where it was coming from.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think now that it's gotten to this point that we see that we have the wrong messages on both sides of both men and women. You know, it's like, has social media made these relationships easier, or has it made it more suspicious of each other? Like, we're always, you know, looking for the next person to screw us over in some way. Like, yeah, this person gonna be good for the next couple months. And I know out of nowhere they're gonna fuck me over in some way, you know? Because once that does happen, everything gets flooded social media. If you are doing something in the dark, somebody's gonna post it on social media.
Absolutely.
If they're that type of person, not everybody does that, but if they're that type of person, you know. And
but it'll come to surface in some way, shape, or form, because you can't, you know, do everything in the dark and expect for it to stay in the dark.
Right. Most definitely. And so, and I ain't even gonna lie to you. I hate social media in a slick sense, but it's a way to, you know, get your business out there. You're an entrepreneur. You know, if you're the type of person that likes to entertain people, you're an actor, you're a script writer, you do anime, cartoons, things like that, you know. But I think when it comes down to the whole basis of social media, we're using it too much to like base our relationships and how we want our lives off of it.
Absolutely.
And
I agree.
It's just so many people who are having social anxiety, as I call it, because they want what they see off of social media. You know?
Yeah.
And seeing some people going as far as to do some of the most egregious things in public, like, yo, I don't even think you want to go that far, but you know, it's like, is this what people are learning about relationships from? Like, just sitting down watching YouTube videos all day, watching what these celebrities are doing on social media all day, them taking these trips, them buying them that Gucci bag, that brand new truck, you know. No, don't get me started on the OnlyFans stuff that's going down, because I'm seeing a lot of that happening. And it's like, yo, this is where I just, you know, I just sometimes ask myself, like, what does a healthy relationship look like in this year or in this time frame? Because I'm the type of person, I'm like, yo, I'm just keeping my business off social media. Ain't nobody got to know everything I'm doing.
Right.
You know, like, what in the hell, like, what can we do so youth could learn from our mistakes and be like, yo, this ain't the way to go? Because you don't have to be a millionaire by 15 years old. You know, you don't have to be a baddie at 14 years old. You ain't got to worry about going to get no BBL at 16, 17, 18 years old. You know?
Right.
Like, there's so much more to life than just trying to look the part of a relationship.
Right.
That you want, you know?
Yep.
And the question goes is like, where can we steer some of these people? Not only, I guess, younger people, but people our age too as well. You know, because, you know, it's a lot of people our age that are still having issues in relationships as well. You know, like, where can we really learn healthy love? Because, you know, I take it back to maybe some of our parents that have stayed together for 10, 20, 30, 40 plus years. Grandparents. You know, a lot of people say that's rare nowadays that you hear about a 2-parent home. I'm like, how the hell is that rare? And then you really look at the statistics, you're like, oh shit.
Right.
That is horrible.
Yeah, because it's a lot of single parent homes. A lot of these parents, they've either you know, given up. Hey, you take care of the kids. I'm gonna go live my life. Or they end up in jail or dead, and I'm talking about both mother and father.
Of course.
So it's
kids too.
It's very rare. Huh?
I'm saying hell, the kids too. You know, a lot of our youth are, you know, in the gangs and trying to do stuff they see off social media. Once again, you know, it's just
right.
Yikes! But I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good. I was just saying that because, you know, you don't see a lot of 2-parent homes anymore. So it is rare to find someone who grew up in a 2-parent home. So they're not able to learn those values and what a healthy relationship or marriage looks like because they ain't ever seen it,
Right.
And that's very sad. I really feel for them because I did grow up in a 2-parent home. But it's,
Yeah.
I feel for them. I feel for them because they've never been around that. They've never been in a home where they were able to have that example shown to them.
Right.
That's just really sad to have to learn what a relationship looks like from watching social media.
Right. Social media has turned us into the devil, man. And excuse me.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I guess one thing I can say about social media and some of these, I guess, relationships that they do be seeing, I do like to see a lot of these couples that come together, do the silly things, show how they're in love. Sometimes it doesn't have to be elaborate, over the top, a hotel room full of balloons and roses and stuff like that. Something simple. Type of people like, listen, man, our relationship doesn't have to be a showcase for social media.
Right. I
could do it how I want to do it. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be over $10,000, $1 million. This is how I show my love. And I think those are the ones we should be paying more attention to. I get it.
Right.
Not everybody wants that type of relationship. Some people want to be able to travel the globe at the drop of a dime. Some people want to live the spoiled girl life, or be the man that goes to work all day while the wife stays at home. I know people have differences in their relationships, but we need to be paying more attention to those that are humble about their relationships. Not so flashy about it. And if that's you, hey, do you? But I just feel like once people start paying more and more attention to your relationship, now it feels like you're dating everybody, as you see with this whole situation going on right now. Starts to turn into a whole cult type of following. You just look like, yo, how the hell did this happen?
Right.
And once again, I don't disrespect those that do, but once again, it just really does go down to that question, like, are people, and that means younger people to as young as 18 years old to even our age, are we really chasing a relationship, or are we chasing a social media relationship? Somebody we can post every day with my boo, with my babe, y'all doing this, y'all doing that, y'all going to brunch, y'all going to stuff like that. Like I said, if you're the type of person that likes to do that, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Do you? But is it
don't get mad when people insert themselves in that too.
There you go. Because is it a real relationship at that point?
Right.
So, man, that's yeah, that's it's just like it's like too many people are trying to build relationships online instead of like in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like this is not the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Relationships are not meant to be flashy. Relationships are supposed to be meant for two people trying to come together and make something work.
Right. Period.
And I think that's where we lost the point right there. Not every relationship is gonna be peachy. Not every relationship is gonna be easy. And at the same time, you should also know something too. You should also know what you're getting yourself into when you're trying to know this person. So,
yep. I agree.
That was just my take on that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know what you might feel about it. But I didn't want to be disrespectful about it, nothing like that. So.
Yeah, I mean it's I just feel like it is certain people that That's all they know. They, like I said before, they haven't had that example set for them, so their examples are online.
Exactly.
You know, and you can't always. You have to be, you have to be realistic about what you're entering into with someone. If that person just does not have that type of personality, and you don't have the personality of the other partner in the relationship, it's not gonna go down the way that you see it go down on social media.
Right.
I mean, it's just you got to be realistic when you're entering into a situation with someone.
Right. You gotta be honest with your intentions. You know what you're looking for.
Right.
And
that's a part of getting to know somebody too. Like, just genuinely get to know somebody.
Right. Yep.
And I saw a post earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It blew my mind because this guy asked his grandfather, how do you stay in this marriage with grandma? And they've been together for 60 years. Mm-hmm. And they was expecting for him to say something cliche like, oh, communication and and respect and loyalty. And he didn't say none of that. He was like, I realized, and I told myself that I wasn't going to fall in love. I wasn't going to be with the same woman that I fell in love with. People change. They change, and it's up to us as to whether we're going to continue to get to know them or use that as an excuse. Oh, you are not the same person that I fell in love with. He said he chose not to do that. He chose to get to know that person that he was with, because when he married her, he chose for better or worse. And when those situations of like motherhood and stuff, you know, that stuff changes people.
Right.
So it's up to a person to keep growing with their person. And I that blew my mind, because it is going to be changes when the longer that you're with someone, there's going to be changes in that person. That person's going to come to, you know, they're going to come into new ways
of thinking
about themselves. And it's up to that person that's with them to either follow suit and, you know, get to know that person, or leave that person, because that's not the same person that I was with. That's not the same person that I fell in love with, you know, in the beginning. You shouldn't expect that person to be that same person that you fell in love with 60 years ago anyway. But, you know, it's about getting to know a person and continuing to get to know that person as they change, as they grow, as they get older, as they learn new things. As they have, it's all about just being with that person. And if that's your person, you know, you're gonna do what you can to make the situation work with them.
That's real words right there. Yeah, real words from Miss Newnew.
But I love that.
Hey. Okay.
I absolutely love that. I love that message.
Yeah, that was a real dope message. And it's true. You know, people do change as you continue to get older. New things come about.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna do the same things like you did before in your 20s, you know, in your 30s.
Right.
You know, so it's called evolving, but also aging with wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. That's really dope. Okay, yeah, I like that. Yo, if you can find that post, shoot that to me.
Oh, I already have it. I saved it.
Okay. I was like, all right, I'm gonna beat it to the punch and post it on my page.
Nah, I didn't post it, but I did save it though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, I send that over to you.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna make sure to post that. All right, so you know, for those that are listening, y'all make sure to check out the page. All right, so hey, that's I guess all I can say is at the end of all this, you know, all I can say is we need to have better sources for people to actually learn about relationships and know what comes with it, especially, you know, those in the younger years, hormones, everybody getting older, you know, everything's starting to happen, they're getting older. So, you know, healthy ways, because I don't even think they do health anymore in school. Do they still do health?
I don't know. I don't think so. I have not heard my boys say that they take health class. PE, but not not regular health. No.
Okay, yeah, because I think that's definitely something they should bring back. So that way kids are having a more of an understanding and a knowing as per going on social media and watching it. Actual face to face with a teacher or somebody of the community, an elder, or of course their own parents. Let them know about what's going to be happening with them, how their bodies are going to be changing, the emotions they're going to be experiencing and going through, relationships, and so on and so forth. And I was saying that before, like kids of today need more what's the word, help me out here. They need more it's guidance, but it's not counseling.
Yeah, they do need more guidance.
Well, yeah, we need more community leaders that can actually show them the way, keep them out of trouble. Because I cover these
leaders.
There you go, community leaders. That's what I was trying to get to. Community leaders, but of course, guidance counselors as well. Actually help.
Yeah,
not only help
those who actually care about helping the kids.
There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
help them out. So I know a lot of people seeking therapy. That's a good thing. So actually, real relationship coaches that I guess have degrees for this, because you have to have a degree. I would imagine you have to have a degree about this.
Yes.
Psychology, sociology.
Psychology and therapy.
There you
counseling.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as we seek out the right people that actually help us, because at the end of the day, a lot of our issues are deep-rooted issues that happened in the past. As long as we can get past those, I'm pretty sure a lot of us will be able to find real healthy love.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I believe that. I could be wrong, but hey, no disrespect though. So, but like I said, this real issue, it wasn't men versus women, and it's about everybody just getting the right information. You know what I'm saying? The right type of wisdom. Well, hey, I guess that's the end of the episode right there. I mean, Miss Newnew, you got anything you want to say?
Y'all can check us out. Don't forget to look us up on all platforms, Naked to the Core, NAKID, the number 2, DACORE. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Twitter, formerly the X. That's what it's called now.
Right, X.
Yeah. And YouTube, because we talk about a lot of this stuff too, but
she really does.
And then also, I got my little makeup on the side. Hey. Y'all can look me up too. Facebook and Instagram, the Newnew look, NEW. Hey. Yeah. And if you need a makeup artist and you in the ATL area, hit me up.
Now, let me tell y'all, right? I can actually stand on 10 toes and tell y'all about her makeup work, because she posted a picture with a black eye. I hit them DMs immediately. Who, what, when, where, and why? And let me know, because I'm about to come to your location right now. I wasn't the only one, though. So a lot of people was ready to jump ship and come find out, hey, what's going on here? So I can attest and tell y'all, she is really fire with the makeup and the special effects.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So if you looking for somebody that's fire with the makeup and the special effects, make sure y'all hit up Miss Newnew and follow her on all the pages, as well as
the Newnew look.
There you go.
The Newnew look.
And the Naked to the Core. Shout out to the Naked to the Core crew as well. So,
appreciate you.
Of course. So, let me go ahead and drop these socials real quick for y'all as well. So, y'all can also find me on Instagram as What's Good Fam Podcast. That's What's Good Fam _podcast. You can also find me on TikTok as What's Good Fam :T.M.E. You can also find me on X, formerly known as Twitter. I don't even know why he called it X in the first place. Whatever, man. Whatever.
X-rated.
Right. That's all you saw after he changed it. Nothing but porn all up and down my timeline. I'm like, bro, I don't even follow these pages. What is this, bro?
Right.
Hold on. Before I even drop the page, man, to you folks that's using Grok as a way to bring some of these cartoon women to in real life, shame on y'all. All right, because there's no reason for y'all to be asking Grok to do that on X. Like, hey, Grok, make her titties bigger or something. Like, what?
Oh my God! No.
I'm like, that's not what AI is for, you fucking pervert.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yo, y'all can also find me on X as What's Good Fam Entertainment. That's What's Good Fam Entertainment. You can find me on Facebook as well as What's Good Fam, the Midnight Echo podcast page. That's What's Good Fam, the Midnight Echo podcast page. I'll be on Threads too sometimes. It's the same as my Instagram. So if y'all go to my Instagram, you'll see my links to all my pages as well as the podcast on all platforms. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to drop out of here. All right. So once again, shout out to my special guest, Miss Newnew from Naked to the Core.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that will like, share, and subscribe, and make sure y'all follow her. All right.
Yes, most definitely. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And this wraps up the latest episode for What's Good Fam, the Midnight Echo, where thoughts don't sleep. Stay aware, stay focused, and stay grounded. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.